No.
Jesus.
Okay. Poor. Why?
No, he just doesn't like fireworks. So he runs around meowing all day.
Oh. All right. So, do you want to? We're supposed to go on mine, I think. You want to just click
Yep.
on it, or
Yep. Hang on. Let me do it. So I've been thinking
still
about
working
something.
time? Huh?
I've been thinking about something. It's been bothering me for a while, not just in my work with you, but in my work with me and my work with anybody. When people come and how do I make you post? There you go. When people come and they ask me for a message from their loved ones, not from Erik, I'm used to Erik, but from their loved ones, it makes me really nervous on these little quick sessions because there's hundreds of beings around them, and then I have to discern.
Well, maybe we don't have to have messages from loved ones. It's okay.
I wish that they would just stick with Erik because we have a short amount of time and I'm worried I'm going to get the wrong one.
No,
And
you
sometimes I have gotten the wrong one
that
and then
has
I felt bad.
yes, that has happened. Veronica says the exact same thing. Says
I thank God it's not just me. Erik told me it wasn't just me. He was like, well, just talk to mom
no,
about it.
not at all. Oh,
We
there
all
we
know the
go.
world is
Okay, let's see. Okay, get it away from top chat to live chat.
Okay.
Where is everybody? Oh, there we go.
Did you go
All
look at
right.
it? Yeah. Okay. Turn my phone off.
Oh, look at the first question. Okay. Okay, guys, I hope you can hear me. But Pamela and I were just talking, and we decided it's too difficult to get messages from loved ones. You
In
could
a
do
short
that
amount of
radio
time.
show sometimes because we have such a short amount of time, and you guys are surrounded by so many spirits. There's always a risk that that we're getting the wrong person. So we're gonna
Done it.
try to stay away from that. And only spirit we're going to talk to is Erik. Okay.
And your higher self. You can ask questions for
Oh,
your higher self.
higher self, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to tell you, Erik. I've been working with the pendulum with you, by the way, using post-it notes, writing a yes or no question, crumpling it all up, mixing it all up, so I don't know what I'm asking. What question it is. Is it right? I'm. Is it right most of the time?
He said, because the human brain conjures so many potential right if this, but wrong but that
Oh
scenario,
yes, yeah.
that's where that you get in trouble with that. But he shared something with me recently that he's also reminding me to bring up to you. And it's like a pendulum chart of like how to gauge things. And it looks like, let me show you what it looks like. My assistant actually went and found it, but it looks like this. Have you guys seen this? And you hold, it looks like that, and you hold the pendulum in the center, and it's like you're looking down upon it, and it looks
Oh
like a
yeah, okay.
Fibonacci curve. And
Oh
when
yeah.
it spirals out, it could tell you your range of yes and no and different things.
Oh,
I'll have to remember what it's called. It starts with a G.
can
And
I
he,
just make it?
what?
Maybe I could just make it.
I have it. He found it, and so did my research assistant, and she put it in my email. It's out there somewhere. And he's like, just use that.
Yeah, I could do that. But I also when I got it sorted into yeses and no piles, then I say, or is it sorted correctly? And if it's no, then are there any no's in the yes pile over and stuff? So
But
then I
because it's not
put
always
it
yes and
down.
no. Like for
Yeah,
instance, like if someone's lying and you don't
yeah, but
know. Yeah.
exactly. But then I say, you know, what do I say? Ah, forget. Let's take other questions.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
good topic though.
yeah, because it's so. It seems like it's right, but who knows?
Yeah.
But sometimes he takes a long time to answer, and so I think is this a maybe? It probably needs qualification.
He said, I'm thinking of all the scenarios
Yeah,
because it's not always yes or no.
I know, and I usually say at this time, or
He
quantity.
said, keep saying that though. That helps. Keep saying
Yeah,
that.
I do. Okay, okay. Um, the bad guy, Tony Tone. I think that's Carmen, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. And hello, wonderful, joyous Erik. My question is, when will I find the love of my life and be happy again? And by the way, for you guys just coming in, we're not going to get messages for deceased loved ones. It's too risky, too much, too difficult in the short time we have.
To find the right one. And then,
yeah, you can do it in a session, a regular session with a medium, including Pamela, if you want. But anyway, all right.
Yeah, it takes me like 5 to 6 minutes to get the right person. I just hate to get the wrong person, guys. I've already done it on the show like once, and I felt bad. I cried all day. So allowance. He said you got your expectations, if we could even put them on a scale, would be bigger than the Eiffel freaking Tower. So he said, so for you, who's asking this question, you had the love of your life. You already have. And now you've got this big gauge of expectations that you're still kind of trying to water down, and it's not there yet. And I'm not asking you to settle for less. I'm asking you to find out and ask source, like ask yourself and ask source for something that is right for you right now. And then, then you can worry about your expectations later. Like, what is right for you right now?
Okay. All right. Hi, treasure hunters. Hi, Emily. Hi, Alexander K. Hey, everybody. Kimmy, Kelly Clark. Hello. See, Alina. Amanda, we're doing great. How are you? All right, so here we go. Hi to everybody who's saying hi, in other words. Oops, what happened? Oh, goodness. It went down. Okay, here we go. I got it. Found my place. Are there any, from Jaylia, Jaylia, beautiful name. Any messages from Erik or my spirit guides? Love you too, Christy. Thanks, Bailey.
He said, so you used to look at life like a marathon. Now you're looking at life like a turtle who's afraid to even take one step out of its shell. You're not stuck. There is an in between, and life is not a race. So when you're thinking about the feelings that you're experiencing about feeling stuck, it's actually not possible for you to be stuck. What is possible is for you to be examining your choices, and what's also more possible is that you're afraid of making any. You're afraid of anything being wrong. And that fear is very paralyzing, but you're not stuck. I need you to look at that and ask yourself, how can I stop feeling paralyzed? You're afraid to be wrong. You're afraid to be right. You're afraid to be anything. So I need you to start making steps in any direction, regardless of how it feels, and to trust the universe to work that through.
Yeah, I mean, really, you shouldn't be afraid. That's called analysis paralysis in some cases. And, we're eternal beings. What's the worst that can happen? And seriously, we can, if we make a wrong mistake, there's always ways to make things right. I mean, 99% of the time. Okay. The Molly Shop. Now, I don't know this person's first name because it wasn't left here, but, and I'm not sure if you can answer this. A girl in one of my daughter's activities died suddenly in her sleep last week. Her name is Emerson, and this person wants to know what the cause of death. I don't know if you can do that without talking to the spirit, and without knowing the questioner's first name, but.
Emerson is the person?
Emerson is the girl that died in her sleep.
Erik says that one actually has to do with inflammation around the heart and lungs. Is the actual cause. That inflammation was too much and it was thick. It was, he's showing me like a thick in the way that scar tissue would be thick. So when you have that, you have potential scleroderma situations. With that being said, I'm not a doctor and I'm not licensed to treat.
Yeah, maybe pericarditis, that could be caused by many.
It could be, there's so many things it could be.
Myopericarditis.
That's the reason, and you have to now find the diagnosis switch.
Right. It's probably myopericarditis. Or
even mild can, for a person who has like any sort of predisposed disease, he said.
Yeah, lupus, scleroderma, rheumatoid arthritis, etc. Juvenile if she's a little kid. Oh, Awful. Uh, Angelica Pantera wants to know if there's any messages for her.
What's her name again?
Angelica Pantera.
So Erik said, you ask a lot for what love is really supposed to be, but sometimes when you haven't fully had it, you wouldn't know if it smacked you in the face. So when you truly know love, you look upon things that you fear because you're not afraid to look upon them. So I want you to look backwards at the times that you thought that you had love. And even when you were afraid, even when there was fear, to not try to deny that it was still love. Why would we deny that? Like, discover this, dig that up like you are a love archaeologist, he said.
Oh,
Dig that up and out of yourself. You're the love archaeologist.
all right. Thanks to everybody who says love your channel and hi Erik and all that. I feel like I should acknowledge, but then people won't have enough time to ask questions. But we'll try this one. Tanya, but I appreciate it. Tanya Anderson. Now she doesn't leave her mom's name, but at least she has her first and last name here. She is with me now. She isn't doing very good health-wise. Please help. Do we need the mom's first name?
No. Erik says, so when you have a situation where someone is ready to go in their soul, but in their mind, they're not, this causes for a lot of friction, in them. So because they don't really know that they're ready, but they are, and their soul says they are, but their mind says they're not. So the best thing you can do is be present, be compassionate, and just be there. Just be there. Everybody needs to just understand that fear that person is experiencing.
Oh, all right. Sveta Prasad, love and light to you all. Messages from higher self, please.
Prasad?
Prasad, Prasad, Sweta is her first name.
Sweta. Sweta. Okay.
Oh, Sveta. Okay. Prasad.
Higher self wants to give you a mantra, and it says, here it is. I am the one who chooses the effects of the life I experience. I am that power.
Wow.
Now, the reason for that, Erik says, is because she has felt really alone and really out of control and really powerless right now, along with a lot of people right now who are feeling that with everything that's been going through. This quarantine has hit her and her family really, really hard. And she doesn't know how to make the quarantine experience not even like a neutral or peaceful experience, but a sane experience, he said. So to try to make all this a sane experience, that is your mantra.
Okay. Igisama Sandwich. Maybe it's his real name. Hi, can you please talk about Stardust Ranch about John Edmonds? That sounds like it would be a topic for YouTube, not just to talk about. I think it's too open-ended. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, you see my face is like, what's that?
Sorry. Okay, let's see. Jamie S. I've been having communication issues lately. Why is that?
Erik says, so you're examining beliefs in a big way. And anyone that you have ever believed has wronged you, that's coming up in your subconscious mind because you're working through trust. So your mind is like, well, how do I know what trust even is? How do I know when people wrong me or not? What is judgment? What is that? So what if it doesn't matter if people who have wronged you, you say that you've forgiven them, and I believe you, but have you thought about your responsibility in things towards them, towards you, towards others? Have you thought about where you could forgive yourself? What's hidden in your mind about where you haven't forgiven yourself? He said, more digging to do, people, more digging to do.
It's hard to do. I know. I struggle with that too. Oof. All right, Lisa Peterson wants to know, she's been in Australia for 10 years. She wants to know if she should move back to the US.
Erik and I like battle over whether or not we should be sharing like world predictions because everything's changing all the time. So is it really
Now.
fair?
Oh,
Right? But he is always telling me, and so is Dolores, and so is many of the other people that are really good. He's really good at this, at telling people when they need to make big moves and big changes for reasons of safety. So there's a certain part of Australia, and if you're on that portion of it, if you're closer to the Melbourne side of it, you need to go. Like that particular side of it. You need
oh,
to
okay.
go.
By the way, Erik, and using the pendulum, I did this several times. You indicated that there are 2 people in the government that are going to be assassinated in October or maybe early November. And I asked, is that trajectory reversible? And you said no, many times. Is that true?
He said one will be public knowledge because it's a well-known person and it would be hard for anyone to hide that, and the other one would be covered up.
Okay. All
So,
right. That's fine. Sally G. Oh, Treasure Hustlers says, hit that thumbs up, please, everyone. Thank you. All right, Sally G. When should I get a new dog?
Erik said there's no sweet spot on that because you're still hurting and it's so obvious that you are, and it's so hard with grief. But, you know, as long as you can honestly examine your head and you just look in your mind and you ask yourself, am I trying to replace the love that I had for my old dog? He said, guys, you can do this in relationships. The only thing you can't do this is when you lose children.
Oh, God, no.
You lose like relationships, or when you lose dogs and animals, what you're really trying to do is replace that love that you had for that person.
Yeah.
And the good news is you can, but you can't. And he's like, this is the best news that I can give you. Because that love is so individual and precious, and you know that you can't, you wouldn't even want to, even if you could. But the truth is you can to a certain degree because of universal laws, because of oneness. You can love another person in that same way that you love. You can't replace the person, but you love that person in that same way, and that person can bring you closer to yourself in a different way.
I would ask,
So,
what do you think the old dog would have wanted?
old dog is a weird thing. He said that dog just wanted that person to always be with that dog, and it was like such an exclusive thing. So that's a
Oh,
hard.
okay. Okay.
So old dog, it doesn't matter what old dog wants because old
Okay.
dog would have said that. But now it's good that the person kind of gets closer to a dog again.
Okie dokie.
And there's no sweet spot for that, he said.
Yeah. Becky with an I, she would love a message from her higher self.
Oh, I love that message. I love when people and higher self talks about grace. So grace is a gift. It's nothing that you will ever understand, but you do have a responsibility to learn and teach yourself what it is. It's a direct gift from source, from the universe. It's an energy. It's a power of love that transcends mind, and it goes into your heart and prepares a place for it that only you can understand, because grace is so personal. So your higher self wants you to understand grace.
Wow. Rosa Diana Reda wants to know if Erik has any messages for her.
What's her name again?
Rosa Diana.
Oh, this is hard. Okay, so when you come from having nothing and then having something and then having every something that you ever had taken from you, you can get a little jaded in your mind, and your mind could say, you know what, I'm going to feel resentful and bitter and angry with myself because I had nothing and I worked hard, and then I had something, just one something that was mine, and it was taken from me, and it hurts.
Oh.
So, and then God keeps saying, source in you keeps saying, claim nothing for yourself, claim nothing for yourself, claim nothing for yourself, so that all things can flow in abundance. This
Oh,
abundance is your lesson. So when you claim nothing for yourself again and lose resentment over what was taken, that one thing that was so important, and you keep releasing, letting go, releasing, letting go, releasing, letting go, then all abundance can flow through you again.
oh wow, that's awesome. That's
That's how
for
abundance works.
everyone. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, Florence B, do you have any guidance for me right now?
Choosing forgiveness, choosing forgiveness, choosing forgiveness over and over and over again. Life is throwing her so many scenarios to forgive. Forgiveness is her thing right now, Erik said. So he said, you have literally saved yourself from so many horrible lessons this 6 weeks alone. Every time you forgive something and then choose not to re-experience the same bad lesson, you know,
Yeah.
it's not karma. Nothing's after you. You haven't done anything wrong. I mean this about as literally as I can mean it. You haven't done anything wrong. You're good. He said, you're good.
So is it forgiveness for herself or for others?
It's others. With her, it's others.
Okay.
Like she keeps having the same karma does this. It's like a wheel, he said, that turns. And when it's turning and it comes back to stare you in the face again, you think that you haven't had that gear turn and go down to the hardest lessons, but you have. And when it comes back up and stares you in the face again, you're like, why me? Why is this happening again?
Yeah.
The only reason why is because you need to forgive the scenario, not just the person, but the scenario that keeps occurring.
Okay. Well, that's great. Let's see, Liz, and then her last name is ALZ. When will I meet my soulmate, Erik?
Erik said, I can't do that with the time.
Oh, yeah. That's time questions. Okay. Okay. EWA Bartek. So
I know who she is.
LPA. Okay. Oh, sorry, people. Hi, Erik. My health, is it going to get better?
Holy cow. He said, he's holding up his hand and he goes, you're allergic to lectins. That's like the skin off things and potatoes and fruits and rice and everything. You're allergic to the seasoned apples, but a lot of people are because they have cyanide. You're allergic to dairy. You're allergic to gluten. He's like, in your symptoms, sometimes you wonder if you just shouldn't eat. Your gut needs repair.
So what kind of diet does she need to like do a elemental diet for a while and then paleo or what?
She needs to do a cleanse and then keto.
Okay.
Keto is for her.
All right. What kind of cleanse?
A gut cleanse, like a huge gut.
Okay. What about the elemental diet where you just eat things that are just elements? Does that help?
He said, but American food, though, even though she's not getting access to it like most people do, she's still allergic to the lectin. She's still allergic to the gluten.
All right. All right. Maui Girl, also known as Randy, Randi. Does Erik have any messages for me?
Mm-hmm. He said, so you never thought that you would experience joy again. And now look at you. Look at you. Here you are. You can smile at anything now, and you can be sad and still be smiling. It's your gift to experience grief and smile at the same time. People don't know how to take that, and who cares? Do you care if they don't know how to take that? If they don't understand if you're smiling or crying, or maybe if you're doing the same at the same time? You have learned the art of surrender. Surrender is when you fully allow light and dark to grace your path without stopping, and you don't need to define what anything is ever again. That means that other people are going to not understand you, and that means that you're going to have to kind of let that go when they don't. You're kind of attracting and remembering a whole new soul family right now as well.
Wow. Okay, so look, I think surrender is one of the hardest lessons, and forgiveness, which I guess is really a type of surrender. So kudos to you, man. All right, so Any messages for Tina? Her handle is me, myself. By the way, for you guys who just are coming in, we can't do deceased loved one messages anymore. Sorry.
Yeah.
It takes too long to bring them in. And
It's too long for me to do it accurately, and my heart breaks if I get the wrong being. You guys
I know. Yeah. All right.
I did that last time, and the person let me know, and I cried for 3 hours. I'm like, I'm sorry,
Oh,
but it was too late.
oh,
So my heart can't do it.
no.
Okay, so shoot, what did we just ask?
Oh, a message for me, myself, her handle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because Erik slid up by you and he goes, and I, Erik, me, myself. So speaking of oneness, he goes, and I, you've had some hard lessons about the I am. You've had some hard lessons about what oneness is. Only love heals that. Only time can help you remember the love that heals that to begin with.
Yeah.
So, can you commit to yourself that the only reality that's true for you is the time that will help you remember what love is? It just takes time.
Yeah.
Whatever you're experiencing, it just takes time. I can't. He said it's just hard otherwise, but don't lose your luster. Like don't you lose your don't get bitter towards life right now. Love comes in a way that takes time.
Yeah. Christy Lee, so much love to everyone here. What a sweet thing to say. Treasurer Hustlers, they're so supportive. Look at that. Putting up all your information, Pamela. That's so cool.
Thank you.
By the way, my hairdresser noticed that my hair is getting thinner. It could be age, but it's kind of sudden in the last year. And I was thinking maybe, and check my thyroid, I don't know, no problem. Maybe it was one of my medications, because like, could it be one of my medications? It's not stress, because I'm not under a big amount of stress.
Now this is a confusing answer.
Oh, okay.
I guess I would have to ask you, Elisa, if you're still taking the LDN or if there's a side effect from the LDN at a longer.
Oh, I could
Yeah.
look.
He says that sometimes LDN can cause that with a long time if you've been taking it.
Oh, okay. I'll ask on the pendulum. And it could be my like an NSAID that I take, like meloxicam. Could it be that?
No, he says it's like every rare person, like every now and then someone will have a hair loss side effect from a long-term LDN.
Oh, interesting. All right. So what can I do about it? Is there a special shampoo or biotin or anything like that? I don't want to stop the LDN. I could for a while.
He said you're already taking such a mild, you can't make your dosage lesser. Huh. Okay. So you can't make your dosage lesser for some reason, obviously, or he wouldn't have said that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we can do.
I don't want to take up too much time, so no problem. I'll ask on the pendulum. All right. Now, Amanda Martin, could I please have a message from my higher self or Erik, what I should be working on or spiritual gifts, etc.?
You know what? This message from your higher self reminds me of what Ra used to say. I channeled him last month in the Council of Nine, and he talked about a specific healing modality of like learning how to look upon all your thoughts and all your feelings and all of your creative manifestations in your life with love and with like looking upon it with, he said, look upon all those things with the innocence of a child. Like would a child, every time you have a thought that bothers you, would a child look at it in that way? Like they wouldn't. And Erik said, you're not being naive by doing that. What you're doing is you're learning what real forgiveness means when you can look in innocence, you're not looking in shame. And when you're not looking in shame, you can be, it takes a lot of great courage to do that, to release shame.
That's a tough one. Wow. All right. So this is Christina Bailey. What is the best time to buy a single wine? Oh, no win questions. I'm sorry. I forgot. Let's see. Crystal.
With time. Erik has a hard time with me.
I know. Yeah. Crystal wants to know what her gifts are. She feels stuck and can't seem to get through the veil. How do you feel?
Yeah. Erik said, guys, but remember, so many things can block gifts. He's like, you guys can't meditate on one hand and then go eat a cheeseburger on the other. Like when you're making big changes, you have to make them like the whole way. He's like, moves his head like this, everything, like body, mind, and spirit for a reason. So this person is not too with it in the body. There's something that's blocking the gifts in a medication. I don't know if it's allopathic or naturopathic, but it's that. And then secondarily it's food, and it's like lack of even a small amount of quiet meditation a day. So with gifts, he said another thing is it's not what everyone thinks. It's not just, people think that gifts are seeing and hearing, clairvoyance and clairaudience. And there's so much more to gifts than that. Some people are healers, some people are telepaths, some people can remote view, some people can access the Akashic records, you know. Some people have a gift that's called precognition, where they can tell specific things that are really hard, you know, particularly about pregnancies.
Oh yeah.
That's their gift. Yeah, that's precognition. And it's always hard things with precogs. He said, you guys have it hard as you can predict plane clashes and terrorisms and
No.
stillbirths and hard things. And that happens to be one of that person's gifts. And there's,
Woohoo!
yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Kimmy, Kimmi. That's such a cute name. Last initial D. What is the name of one of my spirit guides? I like finding out what guardian angels' names are.
So here is the name of one of that person's guides. Erik says is Johannes, which I happen to know that being, so it's really easy for me to that being. Johannes is one of the it's in the Jesus clan.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kimmy, you are all that in a bag of chips, girl.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, I found out my guardian angel. You know, that's the angel, right? That is with you from birth to death, and her name is Veronica. And so all the other kids wanted to find out what their guardian angels were. Poor Annika's guardian angel's name Anaconda. So I don't know about that. She was not. She could. So I couldn't remember the other ones. But anyway, Tanya K. I'm going through a very difficult period and must make some tough decisions that will impact several people. Does Erik have any advice?
He said, but you're looking at all the several people, but you're not looking at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't worry about everybody. Put your eyes.
He said, so knowledge is immediate. He said, here, you've been asking yourself the truth. You've been asking for true knowledge. Like, what is the truth about these scenarios? Of course, it's going to affect many people, but the knowledge you need is immediate. It's right now. So what you can do is ask your higher self for knowledge about the truth right now. That's a question that you need to ask your higher self, and you'll feel it. You'll feel that truth. You'll feel that knowledge, and it's not going to be translated through a lot in here, a lot of thinking up here. It's going to be a feeling here. And that's how you will make this decision, is by asking that question to your guides.
Okay. Lisa Jenkins. Hi, Erik. Do you have anything for me?
He said, so you're always looking, you're always seeking, you're always looking and looking and looking and looking and finding the same things. So if you were, say, on a treasure hunt, and every time you uncovered something like a gift or a knowledge about your life, but it was the same thing, what do you think that God would be trying to tell you? You know, the universe might be trying to tell you to stop looking and to sit with that one piece of information that seems to be popping up everywhere, every time you ask, every time you seek. And it's not possible for you to move forward without really uncovering what that one piece of the same piece of karma that keeps coming back. You need to look at your patterns right now, and you need to look at them really clearly. He's like, eyes peeled back.
Okay. Wow. Let's see. Tini, Tini, Boyd. Hi, Erik and Lisa. And Pamela, trying to get a hold of my brother. He is deceased, but he basically, I mean, she just wants to know if he hears her when she speaks to him. I mean, of course, it's a yes. They always do, right?
Erik says yes. And he wants you to be clear when you talk to your brother about what you're looking for. You guys need code. Your brother's been trying to teach you code. So what that looks like in the spirit world is maybe knocking 3 times, or maybe a certain feeling in your shoulder, or maybe this feeling at the top of your head. There have been many things, particularly on the left side of the body, that is a code for that person to talk to you, that they're trying to give you codes.
Oh, cool. All right, Tricia Riggins, I need to know if my ancestors are helping me. Hi, small wildflowers. I remember you.
Erik said, guys, when you ask this question, the ancestors kind of throw up their hands because it's the other way around. You're helping them to never have to experience certain things again. You are everything that they've been waiting on.
Oh, wow.
They've mastered so much, but now you are the reason why they will never have to come back and do that same hard thing ever again because of your mastery right now. You the man. As Erik said,
Wow.
you the man.
That is so amazing because there is no time. Everything's happening right at the same moment, past, present, and future. Okay, Winifred Margolis, can you get Elvis for us? That is actually on the blog. The interview with Elvis. It's not a YouTube, it was before I was recording videos. So check it out. Helen Green, aloha, beauties. Oh, please pray. I need advice from my higher self. Stuck, totally stuck.
Erik said, no, you're not. There's a lot that you think that you have to give up if you make one major decision right now, and you're worried about how that's even going to work financially, or how you even eat, how you even survive after making that decision. But you still know in your heart that it's the right decision to make. You're not stuck, you're scared.
Oh.
So when the mind, he said, so in our minds, it's the thing that tells us we're stuck. But when the mind believes that it has given or shared or experienced all that it has to give or to share or to experience, then the mind loses, and it's scared of losing everything that it has. It's scared of losing everything that it has shared, and it's scared of never having it again. But what is that it's scared of losing or never having again? What is that it? It doesn't matter because you've already done it. It's time to not know what that it is and to move forward. You know what you need to do, you're just scared. And you don't know how.
Just like Nike.
She keeps telling herself she's not going to have the exact circumstances, like quite literally, to make it happen, but she does, and she will.
Okay, awesome. Gina McAnally, hi, peeps from Texas, my fellow Texan. All right, let's see. Elza, and then K, A with an umlaut, RKLINA, Carklina or something. Sorry. I have a question. How can I best prepare for my regression therapy this weekend?
It's Elza?
Elza, yeah. Elza, last name starts with a K.
Okay. Erik says there's 2 ways that people look at regression. They tend to get specific, when they have a specific problem, to be able to tell the regressionist that this is my problem, whether it's overweight or quitting smoking, or I have a problem that I think comes from a past life. And I want to know specifically what, myself has to say, what the subconscious has to say about this problem. That's one way that gets you somewhere. And then you get very specific things. But then you question all those specific things because you were so specific to begin with. And then you tell yourself, well, that shit's probably not true.
No.
Deny everything that you've gotten because you think that your mind just made it up. And then there's the other way that you can go into regression: tell nothing, do nothing, be completely open. But you're so scared that whatever comes in is not enough. Then you're not getting enough, and you're not truly regressed, and you're not truly getting the right information if you do that. So it looks like some of you are scared either way of the way that you go into it. So what if you really let yourself be regressed very, very deeply and just trust that it's going to happen, and trust that whatever comes up is valid, and just go to sleep. Don't worry about if you're asleep or awake. Don't worry about if whatever voice is speaking is yours. Don't worry about those things. Just let yourself get really relaxed. And for you specifically, please don't drink a lot before the regression, because you will get up and have to pee, and then you have a hard time being regressed again.
Oh yeah. Wow. That
You
sounds
can
like
get up during though.
yeah, and maybe you can ask your higher self or your spirit guides or all of them to help you get the answers that you seek.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's see. Tiffany Clausen, I receive messages from my guides. That's very cool. Should I do some type of spiritual work?
Erik said, you already know that answer. You do what a lot of healers do. You do this thing where you're looking for your unique knack in that. But it's okay if you can't find it right now. It's okay if it comes along the way, like weeks to months to years later. You just start. You don't look at the bike and say, I've got to have a manual before I get on it. Get on it, let your dad push you down the hill.
All right, well, what should she start with? Maybe, I don't know, automatic writing comes to mind.
He said sometimes automatic writing with her, but writing in general, like journaling, particularly after meditation. And she's got so many messages coming through that she doesn't know what to do. So she needs to carry around like a little notepad.
Oh.
And to start writing down the messages and then look at them like at least once or twice a month and link all the messages together, because hers does come through thought. She's very much telepathic. It's very much in the head.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. I read on Gaia this it's called a microdose series, which is big ideas in bite-sized pieces. And one, it's like 7-minute long videos. They're really cool. One was about how to astral travel. And it's really cool. You start out with just writing down your dreams. And then for several weeks. And then after that, you reread that. And then after that, there's something else. I have a list somewhere. But oh my God, my dreams, I cannot tell. Oh, I'm not going to let my husband read it because he'll think I'm nuts, man. They're so detailed and crazy. All right, anyway, but I go on to the next person. Let's see. Okay, Tina Poucher, or Poucher maybe. Well, this is to a deceased loved one, so we're not doing that anymore. But anyway, so we'll try. She wants it from Ruth Ann Haskins. Do you have a message for me? And when best to be quiet and listen for messages from her? But let's just a higher self, maybe with Tina. So we don't.
Erik said, though, your mind is really active at night, so that's not a good time to ask for messages from her, because your mind gets in the way and then you question, you doubt. Your inner criticism's just so super strong. He's like, your inner critic is just like, your inner critic's an asshole, he said. You're so mean to yourself about when and how you're getting messages. So don't ask them at night, because that's when your head's most active. So ask them right when you wake up. That's the best way that you can get in touch with your loved one.
Awesome. All right, David Pinto. You said that July will be down on the stock market. What do you say now? I hear that it's going to crash big time.
It's so bad. It's so bad, but it's like gonna have this weird up that no one expects, and it gives a false, like a false premise that it's gonna stay up, and then it doesn't. It crashes harder than it ever has before.
Yeah, in October, end of October, early November. I think it's related to this assassination thing.
It is
to high profile people.
It is an act of terrorism, Erik said, and it's in October. He said it's not the first time I've told you guys through Pamela and through 2 other channels.
Yeah.
So that's 3 people now that we're telling you through, and he's like, and I can't predict exactly when in October, but it's the cause of that biggest crash this year.
Wow. All right, so yeah, and that's what Sylvia Brown, when we interviewed her, she said that too. That will be the deep state's last hurrah.
Exactly.
And backed by the Clintons, apparently. Yeah, they will be facilitating the terrorist or whatever. Anyway.
A lot of them do that. He said a lot of them don't want Trump to make positive changes.
Yeah. Yeah, they want chaos. All right. So they stay in power. But I don't know. I just did that on the pendulum. But Sylvia Brown said it would be a terrorist attack. Okay. Let's see. That's a when question. All right. Is there a chance I may have another partnership in my lifetime? This is from D. Spark.
Oh, Erik said, oh gosh, yes. And what are you going to make them do? Like give blood, pass over all of their ID? Like, are you going to do 5 background checks? Like, you are so, you're good, but the people around you are going to be not trusting your judgment, and you need to let that go because there is someone coming, you
Ooh.
know, and it's probably not this year, but it is early next year. And he said, I rarely can be that specific with you, but I can tell you for you, you feel it, you know, it's palpable for you. It's right around the corner.
Wow, that's awesome. Alex Cade. First, I want to say, God bless you. Always come on the perfect time. Can you ask Erik if he has any messages for me? Alex Cade.
So what if you're looking at all the different ways that you reasons why you're here, and you keep trying to validate and give yourself some exciting reason to be here, and a lot of you guys are doing that in this time. But what if you're here just to extend? If you want peace, you extend that to the world. You become that, you be that peace you're looking for. If you want power, you show people what being in equal power means. What does equality mean? You know, if you want love, you show people what that love looks like. If you want compassion, you show people what that compassion looks like. You're here to extend who you are into a world that you perceive is not that. And this person is here to be really present and helpful. This person is a really good listener. So you understand your decision to remember who you are, but you can't do that if your head is perpetually blah, 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 blah. Your head is too much. So you need to meditate, and you need to meditate every day to quiet your head.
Interesting. Okay. By the way, I see some people asking more than one question or repeating question. Remember, where we can't do that. Kathy Vargas, any messages for me yet?
Mm-hmm. You're never going to make sense of that in your head. You're never going to make sense of what happened to that person. There's something that happened to someone you love, and you're trying to make peace by making sense of something. And the mind can never bring you healing. It can never, like, sometimes you can't make sense out of something because it's so insane.
Yeah.
And that's when you're getting in God's business. That's the universe's business. It's not our business to try to make something make sense. That will never bring us peace.
What should she do?
Forgive the fact that it happened to begin with, because it's horrible. And we know it's horrible, but you have to forgive the fact that it happened to begin with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Heather Stewart wants to know what her spirit guide's name is, like the main one, maybe.
Heather Stewart.
Stewart, Stuart.
So Erik said, I'm going to tell you guys this. It's hard. Like, you'll get a main one, and then by the time you blink or go through a different lesson, which is a blink of time in heaven, is like a blink of time for us. It could be days, weeks, months, for years for you guys, but then it'll change. So
Yeah, what
there's,
the needs are. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so there's one around right now who's like, it's Jose or Jesus.
Okay.
I'm
All
just
right.
getting the JS sound, like the double sound like that when I hear it.
Okay. Cody ends with an I. S. I tried QHHT and was not able to do the session. I didn't get anything. Any information as to why I was not able to do the session?
Erik says, before you look at that as being like maybe not modality that's good for you. Try other modalities, other different types of regression. Maybe it's just that you have a faulty notion of what regression is, or maybe you had the wrong practitioner and there wasn't enough trust built between you and the practitioner. Or maybe you emotionally have so much issues in your mind with control that you won't let yourself be regressed, in which case nothing's going to help you with regression, and that problem is in here, not in your spirit, but in your mind.
Well, what is QHHT? It's not regression, is it?
It is. It's a quantum healing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, QHHT is a Dolores Cannon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
What
some
about,
people can't do it because they won't let themselves be regressed, and then they have the false notion that they need to be regressed in order to get accurate information.
what about? I think I'm channeling this, but what about Kim Voigt? She does so many different things. Like takes you to the Akashic records for a reading and cuts spiritual DNA and all sorts of stuff. Uses singing bowls and things. Do you think that she could figure out how best to help Cody?
He's giving 2 recommendations. So that would be something to work through for like answers. Cody's looking for 3 specific answers, and that person will be best for that scenario, he says. But there's deeper healing, and he's suggesting Jen Ward for that. She does a process called spiritual freedom technique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No barking. I have a sign on the door that says.
Erik said, "How's that working for you?"
Yeah, but I get a lot of. It says, "Please do not knock or ring, or dogs will bark. We'll get angry, and shit will go down, or something like that." Okay, so all right, let's see. I have a lot of FedEx people taking pictures of it. That's funny. Okay, Jen J, Jen, and then last initial J. Wow, lots of. Oh wait, I want to ask one question. When I went to one of the blog members' weddings in Ireland, Jamie Butler was there because they're friends, and she was teaching everybody how to bend spoons, and I was able to do it once, but now I can't do it. What's the special technique? I don't know why, but anyway, what was the special technique? You get the very small neck of the spoon,
Yeah,
the thick one, and just rub it and just visualize what molecules going up.
he said it's not just the visual, it's your belief system combined with the energy that actually can come through your thumb, particularly.
Okay.
Like your energy mom comes through your thumbs, particularly your right hand and your thumb. So you can, like, there's particularly with the thumb, people will say it's like 2 fingers, but it's not. It's the thumb that for most healers, and most people can activate or have some dormant healing ability. So the heat that comes through at a quantum wavelength for your thumb is the combination of that and your belief is what makes it happen.
So I'm all thumbs. That might be a good thing. So, do you have to visualize light coming out of your thumb or anything like that?
He said you can, but there's so many different techniques for different people, and most people have the ability to do this.
Yeah, I mean, try it, guys. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So it's because of element, our connection to elements that makes it work.
Christina, my daughter, she went with me, and we went through TSA, and all of a sudden, she just had all these bent spoons coming out of her.
And they're like, what?
What's going on? So we had to explain that one. It's very awkward. Okay, Jen J, sorry. Lots of questions here. So I will just say, I love and appreciate Erik and all he does. Oh, thank you. Thanks for that gift, Elisa. Oh, thank you. Kelly Rowland, any messages from my higher self?
Okay. You're really, really, really able to give. Your higher self shows me this image of you being like a saint, like just this saint in a past lifetime, giving this I get this visual of you as a saint, giving energy, giving love, giving food, giving. And then your higher self says, she who gives all must also receive. It's not healthy to be what Erik calls a sympath. You have so much sympathy and compassion that you're not empathing properly. He's like, you're not, it's too much. You have to receive as well, and you're not letting yourself for a specific reason that could require some attention right
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dana Yu. I couldn't remember if I asked this one already. Can Erik please give me advice to improve my health? Dana and the last initial U.
now. Oh, Erik. He changed his voice and made it really deep. And he goes, and no, Erik is not a doctor and is not licensed to treat you. Pamela is not a doctor and is not licensed to treat and diagnose you. And he's making fun of the little disclaimers that we absolutely have to give you. He said, so I want to give you a meditation for this. With your help, I want you to consider that your breath is like a wave in an ocean. So every time you breathe, I want you to visualize this wave arising from an ocean. And your breath, every breath you have is this wave that comes up. The ocean is Source's love for you.
Oh.
So when you do that, you understand that your breath is connected to that and that it's sacred. And you cannot, and here's my message to you, you cannot for one moment, not even for one thought, no matter what you've done, you can never be cut off from how much Source loves you. This will heal you and cause for great healing in people who struggle with self-love like this listener.
That's great. All right, I'm going to remind people of the rules to avoid being blocked by the moderators, right? Remember, only one question. And please do not repeat your question throughout the chat thread because it just makes it too difficult. It just jams it all up. Do not email questions to me. You have to go to the YouTube live chat box. You have to provide, oh no, we're not doing dead people. All right. No more deceased loved one and no more time or health related questions. Those are new. Those last two are new. So I sound like a meanie. Sorry.
We just don't have enough time to do it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see.
We have like 30 seconds per person and I can't.
I know.
I can't.
Oh, there's another win question. All right. Okay, that's a repeat question. All right, so Jennifer Meredy, her question is, will I be able to move into the desired home and location I'm waiting on now in Monroe, Ohio? That's not a win question.
Location is good. The specificity is, this is giving some delays, some big delays that could even change the outcome. So Erik said what you need to do is to make your intention more shorter and more specific and more powerful. It needs to be an intention that you believe. Why do you want to move there? Examine the why much more deeply. And because sometimes when we're not supposed to do something, but we think that we are, and we get like really focused on an intention, but we're actually not, it's not in our path, then it's like we're becoming energetically resistant to what our path actually is, where sometimes we get like one part of what Source is sharing through us and what spirit guides are telling us, but we completely contrive the rest of it based upon our own egoic desire is basically what that is. Okay. We do this all the time. So the location is wrong, the specifics are not. And we need to be willing and open to change that and to make a different intention with more powerful specifics.
Okay. William Greenhouse, is it true that the SSP Secret Space Program will disclose itself to the public as an organization called ARK and disclose that aliens exist?
Erik says there's so many yeses and nos in that one question that he said Pamela will not be comfortable with me giving you that because there's so many yeses and nos. It's like they've already disclosed that aliens exist so many times. What type of that's there, and it's happening more often, and we're seeing it in our skies. I mean, it's even on the news with people all around the world seeing stuff in the skies that they cannot even. Recently, he he brought my attention to a Bellcraft that showed up with this runner was just running, and it was on the news in some other country. He's like, look at that, that's real. I'm like, oh, look at that, it is. And I recognized the craft. It was a
Wow.
Venusian craft. Like,
That
I
is so
recognized it.
cool.
I'm a galactic historian, so that's my stuff. I'm like, yes, yes,
Awesome.
my thing.
The Black Knight is a spacecraft out there that's been there for, but anyway,
Yeah.
Joe W. Last question. My name is Joe W. I love my girlfriend, Mia, last initial B. I really believe she's who I'm meant to be with. Will we get married and have kids someday?
Now, that's a lot to put on me in this short amount of time, Erik. So, but I'm gonna try. Who's the person? I need more names. What are the first name of the person?
Okay, it's William Greenhouse. No. Joe W. Girlfriend Mia, last initial B.
Okay. Erik said there's some time delays on this. So you guys are working through some things right now. And as long as you're both patient, because one of the people is like putting time delays on it, and it's not him.
Okay, well, maybe you need to book a session with Pamela and get more information.
Yeah, but I'd say yes, but it's like there's some time delays on this, Erik says.
All right, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you so much, Erik. I love you. Pamela, I love you. I love you guys out there. And you guys check her out at PamelaErlin.com. I will put all of her information in the description box. Don't you worry about that. All righty. Bye, and y'all have a great week. Bye, Pamela.
Bye. Love you guys.